Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Happy Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look across the state and at some rain chances that have continued to linger through much of the region as we've gotten through this Wednesday afternoon. First off, taking a look outside here at Birch Run camera, not much to see. There's some cloud cover. You might be seeing some light rain in areas just north of Birch Run, but for the most part, you are staying dry. Again, it's not the most widespread rain, but it's just enough in some areas. It's probably getting a little bit of becoming a little bit of an annoyance, just because it isn't moving very fast either. It's a very slow moving cells that we do see developing here on this afternoon. Now, taking a look at Sky Tracker, it's mostly out towards northern Tuscola and Huron counties that we are seeing some rain, and then down towards Saginaw and Bay City. Still can't count out seeing a cell or two develop here in the next hour or so and give you another quick rain as we get out and about here on this afternoon. And Adam, we're getting reports of funnels in Huron County. We haven't gotten a report of tornado yet. Remember, there is a difference there. We're going to continue to keep an eye on it, though, see if we get any reports. There isn't a warning either for anything. But again, there was a chance to have some funnels developing that obviously could quickly touch down. I'm actually going to zoom in on that area. It's going to be northern Tuscola County into western Huron County, sort of this area here. We, again, haven't gotten any reports of anything touching down in that area, but again, have had reports of funnel clouds there. So if you have photos, Adam, if you could send those in to us, we can try to get that report in, because again, it's not a very good radar spot. Again, there has been reports of funnels. We haven't had any confirmation of that quite yet, but if you can send us in any photos, if you have any, please do. If you see me checking my phone, I'm going to continue to just keep an eye on this just to see what the National Weather Service maybe issues or if there are any photos. But for now, I do want to highlight, we've only gotten reports of funnels. I'm not going to count out that one of these touched down. A funnel can touch down very quickly, become a tornado, and sometimes it touches down so quick that the National Weather Service doesn't have time. So still stay weather aware through the rest of the day, especially if you live in an area that has these cells developing right now. But again, if you're just joining me, thank you. There have been reports of funnels towards northern Tuscola into western Huron County, sort of as you get closer to the Bay, Unionville, around that area, have had a few reports of funnels. No tornadoes have been reported yet. Obviously, Adam, you may have seen something touch down. And again, if you have any photos, make sure you report those in so we can send those to the National Weather Service. Because I do want to remind everyone, we don't issue those tornado warnings. That's the National Weather Service. And the only way in some of these areas that we may know that there's a tornado on the ground because of bad radar coverage is by your reports. So make sure you're sending those in. We do need photos with it. If you do have any videos as well, just anything that can get us proof so we can get that to the National Weather Service and get that warning out. And like I said previously, make sure you're staying weather aware because again, these funnels can quickly touch down. They can become tornadoes very quickly. They're not going to be very big, but they're enough to notice. They could cause some damage to property if they do touch down as we get here on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to check Facebook real quick. I just want to see if there's any reports, any videos, photos. I see that Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick just posted about some of the funnels. So again, go over to his Facebook page. You can send those photos over there if that's going to be easier for you than going over to our email. And he can obviously get those reported to the National Weather Service here on this afternoon if we do get any of these funnels that do touch down, because again, it's not out of the realm of possibility to see that chance. I am going to zoom out though and just show areas that are continuing to see rain. So again, Huron County down through Tuscola County, and then just seeing a few cells in Bay and Saginaw counties right now. And again, you could be seeing funnels develop from these cells. Anything that I think is getting close to that bay has the possibility of seeing some of that rotation with it. These are very slow-moving cells as we get through this afternoon. This rain has been pretty slow throughout much of our Wednesday. This morning, a lot of that rain really didn't move. So I went and collected some of the rain totals that we've had so far. This is going to be since Saturday, because I know we've had rain on and off since the weekend. I do want to mention we're still getting reports of rain. Local reports, especially in the Saginaw area, have jumped up now in the last 30 minutes to an hour of people up to maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain since this morning. So areas like Saginaw right now that I have at 1.58, that number may jump up with that chance. Sorry about that. Meteorologist took a picture over Unionville 1:30. So I do want to quickly highlight as well that the National Weather Service has actually just issued special weather statement. And I'm going to try to get that loaded up real quick. So there now is a special weather statement for funnels, for the possibility of funnels. Northern Woody, if you could send that in to us, or head over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick's Facebook and send that over to him. Actually, we do have a photo he just sent me. Yeah, I see that. I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to talk about it. Sorry, meteorologist Diane Phillips just behind us here talking about this. So yeah, there is some funnels. I do have a photo. Obviously, I don't have permission to show this quite yet, but we do see a funnel cloud. This is probably near Unionville. I'd assume that is the area, again, that is seeing some of these funnels develop. I'm actually going to go over to this Facebook post. And again, I don't have permission to use these photos quite yet. But if I do, I can try to show them to you. But again, if we are going to get a special weather statement, which we did, and sorry, I'm just going to have to load this up real quick because it wasn't queued up. Special weather statement. So it's pretty much all of, or not all of, but most of northern Tuscola County into south-southwest Huron County where they had that special weather statement. So if you live in that area with the white, that is going to be an area that you could see funnels develop as we get through the rest of the day. I'm trying to get some more information on this. So this is up until 3 p.m. Doppler radar is tracking a cluster of strong thunderstorms along this line. Obviously, that's what we're seeing here. You're going to have a chance to see wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So these are actually there's some pretty good energy there with these storms. And again, you could see a brief funnel cloud. As I keep mentioning, a funnel can touch down. It can become a tornado. It's usually pretty short-lived if it does touch down. But you could see wind gusts with these up to 50 miles per hour if you do get a funnel cloud that becomes a tornado as it touches down. So we'll just continue to keep an eye on this area as we get through the rest of our afternoon. But for now, that special weather statement does go until 3 p.m. For strong thunderstorms that could see wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and could also see funnels develop along that line. And now the National Weather Service is now just put on social media about the chance of funnel clouds. And it's nothing new information. It's just the information they have with this special weather statement. What about Bad Axe? Paige asks, you do have a chance of some rain. It does look like most of that rotation, if there is rotation, and I'm going to just quickly reset our pinpoint Doppler here. You're going to probably get some light rain. Most of those strong thunderstorms are definitely, again, southwest of Bad Axe. So we're talking really northern Tuscola County. You live in that area. You know, just stay weather aware here over the next probably hour as these cells develop and continue to move to the west and northwest. Because again, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, some pretty heavy rainfall, I would assume. It's hard to say. And then obviously seeing those funnels trying to develop. Most of them, again, should stay up in the air. But if you do get touched down, if a funnel does become a tornado, it should be very brief, but can cause some quick damage in the areas that it does touch down in. So I do want to take a look at temperatures across the board. Again, as we get through this stream, if things change, I will just continue to go back to our pinpoint Doppler and keep you up to date. But for now, it is just those funnels. Temperatures are mostly in the mid to upper 60s. You do have some lower 70s at Tuscola County, into Saginaw, Midland, into Freeland at 70, Gladwin at 72, Clare at 73. You have Bad Axe at 66. Looks like the area leading the way right now is right around Lapeer at 75. So those are definitely the warmest areas that we have. And if you've been outside, it's definitely feeling pretty muggy out there. Just with dew points in the mid to lower 60s, that's enough that you're definitely feeling that moisture in the atmosphere as you're getting out and about. So if you haven't been outdoors today, don't be surprised if you have some afternoon plans that it is a little bit sticky out there. You do have these rain chances. You do have that moisture in the atmosphere that you could see. Should we be on the lookout, Michaela? Again, I would. That is an area there that you do see some funnels developing. So again, I'm going to quickly pull up a pinpoint Doppler just to show that area that we are seeing funnel clouds develop and some stronger thunderstorms. I would stay indoors if you can. Just stay on the lookout though. A reminder for anyone that is joining me here quickly, maybe you're seeing Facebook updates on these funnel clouds, a reminder that funnel clouds rarely touch down, but when they do and they become tornadoes, it's usually very brief, can cause some small damage, though also pick up winds up to 50 miles per hour. So really, if you're anywhere northern Tuscola County to the bay, so I'm just going to point it out, yeah, so this area, just north of Unionville, that's where you're seeing probably our best chance of funnels right now. But even down along M25 where we're starting to see that development, you're definitely seeing a chance of some funnels there. That's why, again, there is a special weather statement. Some strong thunderstorms developing in this area. Chris says, I heard low-hanging clouds. Yeah, again, we are seeing some funnels. I'm going to quickly check Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick's Facebook real quick. Again, I won't be able to show you any photos because I have to get approval for that, but he does have photos. If you want to go check out his Facebook page at Meteorologist Chris Easlick, he does actually have a photo that was sent in around the Unionville area with that funnel. Isn't touching ground, but again, you could get quick contact with the ground, becoming a tornado, and should lift pretty quickly. They're also so quick. I also want to highlight some of these will touch down so quick. There's no way the National Weather Service can give a warning out in time, especially in this area that doesn't have the best radar coverage in place. You know, you're sort of starting to get into that sort of dark zone, as I'd call it, where you have radar, but it's pretty high in the atmosphere. Anything this low, especially like a cold air funnel, maybe like we're seeing today, may not get detected. And actually, I can pull up a velocity radar just to show you. So this is going to be detecting sort of our wind velocities in the atmosphere. If I can find it real quick on this, on our sort of side stuff. There it is. So this is Detroit. Not much there to see. I mean, maybe a little bit around this area, which again is where we're seeing those cold air funnels and develop. So I think it's north of Unionville to the bay is where you're probably seeing your best chance to have funnels that, again, could touch down as we get through the next probably hour or so. Once they get over the bay, obviously won't be much of an issue. I'm going to pull up, if I have it here, because, yeah, I don't think Grand Rapids, yeah, it's going to be way too high in the atmosphere to get any kind of rotation on our pinpoint Doppler. But again, if you're just joining me, there is a special weather statement in place for northern Tuscola County into southwest Huron County. That is for these stronger storms that have developed. They're producing 30-mile-per-hour winds, but they also could produce funnels that obviously could briefly touch down and become quick tornadoes that can cause brief damage as they're on the ground. But let's look at winds. There isn't really much here. Most of our winds are out of the east-northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So if you're going outdoors, it's definitely going to feel sticky out there, but you're not really going to be blown away by the winds that we're seeing for this afternoon. Obviously, we've been pretty lucky with winds. We obviously had a few days 2-3 weeks ago where we were pretty windy outdoors, and we even had some periods Saturday that did get breezy, but nothing extreme. Hopefully we can continue that trend. I know this weekend there were some questions if the atmosphere would set up where we could see some breezier conditions, but with how things are even setting up this weekend, most of those strongest winds might be to our north. So that's a good thing for anyone that doesn't enjoy those strong winds, or anyone that's going to be out for many of the events that we have going on across mid-Michigan for the weekend, including a few football games Friday, obviously, for Friday Night Lights, and then obviously a few college games. I know one of the big ones in Mount Pleasant, Central Michigan, playing Eastern Michigan this weekend. Now, quickly, I do have to take a break, but before that break, I do want to look at our forecasted highs for the next 10 days, just sort of a quick little preview of what we can expect. And that's going to be, we actually do get back up to the upper 70s and possibly lower 80s, and really just see a streak of 70s. Beyond that, as we get into next week, I do want to quickly highlight high pressure looks to move itself in as we get into the weekend, so that really helps us, gives us more sunshine, gives us drier conditions, and that will help us stay just a little bit warmer here over the next couple of days. And with that high pressure, we see rain chances start to move out. I'm not going to count out an isolated chance for Friday into Saturday, but by Sunday into Monday, those rain chances do really look to move away, and we'll have drier skies and even sunny skies at times. So I quickly got to take a break here. Once I come back, we'll continue to look at the rest of today into tomorrow, into the next couple of days. Also keep an eye on any funnel clouds that may be developing in northern Tuscola County. So stay right here. If you have any questions, remember, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. I can try to answer any questions that you may have. Again, I do apologize if I miss your question. Obviously have a lot going on. So we'll hit this break real quick. Once I come back, we'll have more on your forecast and maybe a little bit more on that rain chance that we have moving through. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live for our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. We are going to take a look. The National Weather Service has now issued a flood advisory for that area that we actually had that special weather statement in northern Tuscola County into southwest Huron County. That is not until 11:30. Didn't get the time to update this graphic in the really short time that this advisory was issued. But again, we do have some stronger storms rolling through that area that you have the flood advisory. I'm actually going to click on it just so I can get the time. So that flood advisory for Huron in Tuscola County, that goes until 5:15 p.m. Again, you have these slow moving cells that are producing not only funnels, but some heavy rainfall. Right now, they're actually, National Weather Service says you could see between 1 to 3 inches of rain, or actually between 1 to 3 inches of rain have already fallen, and you're going to continue to see rain here for the next maybe hour and a half. So that's why that flood advisory has been issued for the area that we also have a special weather statement in place for those strong thunderstorms with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and the possibility of seeing funnel clouds. And if you're just joining me, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I do want to highlight for people that are joining late or maybe just joining right now that funnel clouds are not going to be most likely tornado warned because they're going to touch down very quickly. Usually the time period they're on the ground is so short that it's really National Weather Service doesn't really have that time to react. Also, this isn't the best area. So a reminder, if you see a funnel touch down, make sure you report it to us. We'll try our best to get that in. But for now, special weather statement and flood advisory are what you have issued for those areas of Tuscola and Huron County as these storms move through. I'm actually going to pull up pinpoint Doppler real quick just to show that area that we are just keeping an eye on. And again, some stronger storms. The one thing you notice, there isn't much lightning with these storms. The energy is there. There's a lot of moisture being unloaded from these storms, but not seeing much lightning. Maybe towards Unionville, I think the one area that has had a few lightning strikes, but otherwise this sort of area all the way from Huron County along M25 to Bay County doesn't have much there. It's just been producing, obviously, heavy rainfall and funnel clouds. Now we're going to head back to some of the forecast information for the next couple of days. Starting off with our lows for tonight. And those lows are going to be from the lower 50s to the north into the upper 50s and lower 60s down to the south, continuing to stay above average for this time of year. A reminder, average lows is in the upper 40s, so we're still 10 to almost 12 degrees above average for many locations across the region. We continue to stay above average with our highs, with our lows. It's really not been very fall-like for anyone that's hoping we got into that fall-like weather, especially with fall starting on Monday afternoon. The one thing we have been seeing, though, over the last couple of days is fog that's continued, or even the last couple of weeks, I should say, is fog development. And we're going to have another chance tomorrow. I'd imagine some of this is going to be some light mist or rain as well, so don't be surprised you get out and about. You got to get those windshield wipers going as you're heading off to school or work, just because there is still quite a bit of moisture in the atmosphere as we head through tonight into tomorrow morning. By midday, that should start to really leave us, and we'll be clear again through the rest of our Thursday afternoon. Then Friday morning, we do get some more patchy fog that is going to try to develop. It's not the most widespread, but I think it's enough that definitely could have some impact on your morning travels for Friday morning. So obviously something you want to keep pay attention to. Make sure you're driving safe Friday morning and tomorrow morning if you do come across any fog reducing visibilities. Now as we head into our Thursday, our highs are a little bit cooler than maybe what we had the last few days and what we'll have as we head into our weekend, but still above average. It's mid to lower 70s with a few 60s thrown in there. We have Port Hope at 69, Houghton Lake also at 69. So still, I think, nice for most people to get out there and enjoy. Obviously, again, it's not very fall-like. I think when people think about fall, you're thinking 50s and 60s, and we get that very isolated. But 70s, I think that's more of end of summer, sort of a month ago what we should have been at. Now, looking at our wind gust trend, as we get through the rest of the day, we may see wind gusts pick up a little bit towards about 5 p.m. That would be wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour, but not the strongest winds of all time. Obviously, if you get in a thunderstorm or even one of these cells that maybe doesn't have much thunder to it, but it has some strength to it, you definitely have a chance to get wind gusts up to 30 to 40 miles per hour. So don't be surprised by that at this point into our afternoon. And then as we head into Friday, again, we start to see a little bit of a warm-up, mid to upper 70s. You do splash a few 60s in there, especially in our shoreline cities. You tend to be a little bit cooler, and you continue that trend into Friday. We'll have more sunshine for Friday, so that's going to help us warm up. Just a better atmospheric setup to see warmer conditions. Now, looking at our humidity outlook, because again, this has been a factor for some, you have some relief on the way. As we get through Wednesday midday into really Wednesday afternoon, again today, this afternoon, dew points will start to drop, will be more pleasant as we get through Thursday afternoon and then stay with dew points in the lower 50s through our weekend into Monday. So if you're someone that doesn't like those higher dew points, you definitely have better days ahead as we head towards the weekend. Now, hour by hour does show really continuing to see pop-up showers and again thunderstorms through about 6 to 8 p.m. and then by 11 p.m. most of that rain chance looks to move out. There will be a few isolated chances tomorrow morning again as you get some fog development, as you get just the amount of moisture we have in the atmosphere right now. You will get some mist, some light sprinkles as you're getting out and about Thursday morning. By the afternoon, again, still holding on to a few isolated rain chances. So Definitely going to help fight some of that dryness that we've had. It's, again, not the longest rain and not the heaviest rain, but I think consistency could be something we see, again, through the rest of today into our Thursday. And then by Thursday afternoon, still seeing a few cells pop up around the region. It's going to be by Friday that we start to clear off. We see some sunshine. We see a nicer day for anyone that wants to be outdoors and doesn't have to worry about fighting that rain chance for our Friday. Beyond that, on our 7-day forecast, it continues to show mostly sunny days. Friday into our weekend, again, seeing 80s on Saturday. It looks to be a pretty nice weekend for anyone that's going to be outdoors, continuing to hold on to 70s and mostly sunny skies as we get through Monday and Tuesday. So, don't see any questions in the chat right now. I am going to quickly, before I end the stream, just go back to our pinpoint Doppler just to see what we have going on. And again, you still have those rain cells developing in northern Tuscola County. Luckily, haven't seen any type of tornado warning. Haven't had, again, any reports of any touchdowns, so that's always a good thing. Have had, obviously, photos of funnels in the atmosphere. That's just with the setup we're seeing. If you're just joining me, there was obviously a flood advisory for northern Tuscola County, seeing 1 to 3 inches of rain already, and not really the fastest moving cells in the world. So if you do see some flooding, don't drive through it. You don't want to flood your car out. Don't want to ruin your car. Play it safe through the rest of the afternoon. Stay weather aware as well. Again, typically funnel clouds don't touch down, but if they do, it's very brief. It can cause damage in the area that it touches down. And a reminder to everyone, if you're just joining me here at the end of stream, if you do get touchdown from one of these funnels, and again, it's rare, you may not get a warning for it just because it's so quick. It's not in the best location to pick up on rotation on our radar. Really, what it's going to take is viewers like you to send in the reports to us here at the First Alert Weather Team or into the National Weather Service. So as always, if you get you see a funnel cloud touch down and become a tornado, or maybe you see some flooding, make sure you send that in. Report it to us. We can try to get it to the National Weather Service. We can show you as well as we get through the rest of the afternoon. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. Obviously, if anything changes, if for some reason we do get a warning, we'll obviously hop on air, keep you up to date. We'll have any live streams started. If we do get any kind of severe thunderstorm warning, right now they are keeping it at a special weather statement, which doesn't surprise me. And again, flood advisories will keep you up to date with that through the rest of the day. But I want to thank everyone for joining me. As always, you can head over to our Facebook and YouTube channels. We always have these live streams there. You can watch us on Roku and Apple TV. You can head over to our website as well, WNEM.com. You can catch up on the latest news, weather, and sports. And if you head over there to WNEM.com and you go to the live stream tabs, you can catch more content from WNEM TV 5. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. I'm going to end it here. Again, if anything changes, we'll be right back on this stream, keeping you up to date with your weather.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.